Ukraine and Russia have just launched their most massive drone attacks against each other since the war began.
A massive Ukrainian drone strike on the Russian capital overnight. According to Russian state media, defense forces intercepted more than 300 drones fired at Russia, with 91 of them specifically targeting the Moscow region.
One that could shift the war's trajectory. But what does this mean for Putin? Will this provoke further retaliation or push him towards a ceasefire? Let's break it down. For months, Ukraine has been strategically targeting Russia's military logistics and energy infrastructure. However, this latest attack was different. It struck at the heart of Russia's capital.
We know this is Moscow because this is Red Square.
Airports were closed, flights were redirected, and buildings burned in the aftermath. A swarm of Ukrainian Peklo drones, a new advanced combat drone, swept through Moscow's skies, triggering a massive response from Russia's air defenses. The attack sent a clear message to Putin: nowhere is safe. So how did Russia respond to the swarm drones? The Russian Defense Ministry reported intercepting 337 drones, 91 over Moscow, 126 over Kursk, 38 over Bryansk, and hundreds more over other parts of Russia. Despite these defenses, significant damage was reported. Oil refineries, military facilities, and even residential areas were hit. Moscow's mayor and regional governor confirmed casualties and destruction. Footage shows explosions lighting up the night sky, fires engulfing buildings, and debris littering the streets. The psychological impact of this attack on Russia's citizens is immeasurable. So what was Ukraine's strategic intent? Pressuring Putin to ceasefire. Ukrainian officials, including President Volodymyr Zelensky, see this attack as a means of forcing Russia into serious ceasefire negotiations.
The head of the Ukrainian Center for Combating Disinformation, Andriy Kovalenko,
warning to Putin: either negotiate or face relentless drone warfare over Moscow.
From the Russian Federation. Here, as Ukrainian drones penetrated deep into Russian territory, explosions lit up the skies over Moscow and several key cities.
Military depots and key energy infrastructures, crippling vital supplies. According to reports, debris from downed drones even caused civilian casualties and extensive damage to residential buildings. Everyone is looking to see Russia's next move. Will Putin retaliate? In the wake of the attack, tensions are peaking in the Kremlin. Russian officials are divided. Some demand retaliation with powerful missile strikes, while others fear an all-out escalation. The big question: how will Putin respond? Meanwhile, former U.S. President Donald Trump stated that Russia has no cards left in peace talks.
I've had very good talks with Putin, and I've had not such good talks with Ukraine. They don't have any cards, but they play it tough. But we're not going to let this continue. This war is terrible. We have people that better get to the table.
The Russia-Ukraine war. In the latest, the European Union has adopted the 10th package of sanctions on Russia and vowed to increase pressure on Moscow.
The attack on Russia's capital signifies that Ukraine is no longer fighting a defensive war. It's now hitting strategic targets deep inside Russian territory. So what makes Ukraine's Peklo drones so deadly? These cutting-edge long-range UAV missiles can travel up to 700 kilometers at speeds of 700 kilometers per hour, evade air defenses with advanced autonomous navigation, carry explosives capable of precise strikes, operate even under electronic warfare conditions. What's even more terrifying for Russia? These drones can be launched from fighter jets, dramatically increasing their range and effectiveness. With Ukraine ramping up its production of Peklo drones, this new era of warfare could shift the balance of power. The attack's impact extends beyond military and strategic concerns. It has shaken Moscow's population. Civilians who once felt immune from the horrors of war are now experiencing the reality firsthand. Key disruptions include massive flight cancellations and airport shutdowns, oil refinery fires, railway damage and transportation chaos, widespread fear and panic.
Now, Russia is the most sanctioned country in the world, and yet this year its economy is set to grow faster than all advanced economies, according to the International Monetary Fund.
Could face even greater turmoil if these strikes continue. Ukraine's cutting-edge missile technology is proving to be a formidable force. The Peto missile, with a maximum thrust reaching 1,500 newtons, is powered by lightweight engines weighing only 17 kilograms. But what makes this weapon particularly intriguing? Let's take a closer look. Detailed photographs reveal that the Peto missile's hull is constructed using aviation-grade metal with riveted technology, a tried and tested method ensuring efficient industrial production. Instead of numerous small components, the missile body consists of large sections, a crucial advantage in modern warfare. With a price tag of approximately $1 million per unit, the Peto missile stands as a cost-effective yet powerful alternative to some of Russia's cruise missiles. Ukraine has leveraged these advancements to deliver devastating precision strikes at a fraction of the cost. But can these successes translate into peace? Despite Ukraine's military strides, negotiations to end the war remain an enigma. The world is witnessing a seismic shift in geopolitical power, with the conflict extending beyond the battlefield and reshaping global alliances.
We will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Trump has ordered federal agencies to investigate the impact of tariff policies, or in his words, recommend appropriate measures, like global tariffs, to fix these deficits.
European nations now seek greater control over their own security, while emerging powers explore new forms of multilateralism, often outside Western influence. But here's the harsh reality. A comprehensive peace agreement in Ukraine is unlikely. The conflict's roots run deep, and the divide between Kyiv and Moscow is too wide. History is littered with failed peace attempts. Just look at 1938 and 1939, when diplomatic efforts collapsed, leading to World War II. So, what is the alternative? Can partial peace work? Sometimes even a partial settlement can be effective. Consider the Korean armistice of the 1950s or the Cyprus ceasefire in the 1970s. A similar territorial arrangement for Ukraine may not be permanent. For instance, Finland ceded land to the Soviet Union in the 1940s, but regained small portions years later. The key is to strike a balance, ensuring security while avoiding a deal that undermines either government's legitimacy. The war in Ukraine isn't just about Ukraine and Russia. It's entangled in a web of international conflicts and rivalries.
Russia has the advantage, as you know. They have encircled about 2,500 soldiers. They're nicely encircled, and that's not good. And we want to get it over with. Look, we're doing this. There are no Americans involved. There could be if you end up in World War III over this, which is so ridiculous. But, you know, strange things happen.
Now, Iran may soon supply Russia with new ballistic missiles, and that's according to 3 U.S. and allied officials.
U.S. intelligence believes that North Korea is quote, obfuscating the real shipment of artillery shells to make it seem more like the shipments are going to other locations like the Middle East and Africa. He says that it is a significant number of shells that North Korea is transferring to Russia.
Could a new global security framework emerge from this conflict? Some suggest that a grand bargain, similar to post-World War settlements, could reshape diplomacy worldwide, addressing issues like trade wars, finance weaponization, and fractured international relations. Unlike the past, Ukraine and Russia fundamentally disagree on the causes of the war. Ukraine sees Russia's invasion as an imperialist expansion, beginning with the 2014 annexation of Crimea.
А сегодня мы видим инфраструктуру НАТО прямо у нашего дома. Более того, обсуждаются вопросы вступления Украины в НАТО. Говорят, как вы сказали, это не будет завтра. А когда? Послезавтра. А что это для нас меняет в исторической перспективе? Ровным счетом ничего.
For any ceasefire to hold, military guarantees must be in place. History proves that verbal agreements are unreliable. Without a credible military presence, ceasefires risk being mere invitations for future invasions. A potential solution? Deploying European peacekeeping forces along the ceasefire line. France and the UK, both nuclear powers with extensive military experience.
China is starting with the neighborhood. At Central Asia, Xi Jinping is hosting a 2-day summit. Leaders from all 5 Central Asian countries are attending. Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan. All 5 are former Soviet states. Hence, all of them have traditionally been closer to Russia. Central Asia is often called Russia's backyard.
The United States and China are pivotal to any lasting resolution. With U.S. influence in Ukraine and China's ties to Russia, both superpowers could play key roles in negotiations. If global powers fail to navigate these tensions wisely, one where regional conflicts spiral into global crises. So what happens next? With Russia reeling from this attack, all eyes are now on Putin. Will he retaliate with missile strikes on Ukraine's cities, or will mounting pressure force him into peace negotiations? One thing is clear, this war has entered a dangerous new phase. Moscow is no longer untouchable, and Ukraine is proving it has the capability to strike deep inside Russian territory. What do you think? Will this attack push Putin toward a ceasefire, or are we heading toward an even more devastating escalation? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this unfolding crisis.